Recording has started. So in our last class, we look at what a class is and what a constructor is. We did something like this, maybe class student, and inside it we created constructor. Then inside the constructor, we were able to do something like this. Then if we did something like this does name Abby, right?
Yes.
This does department equals to department. Then we can now say maybe variable students. So we're able to do something like this in our last class, and I explained to us that this tire will be sent as the value of name, and this software will be sent as the value of department. So that this dot name,
Department.
this dot name will now be tire, and this dot department will become software. That if there's
Yes.
any method here, if you have a method here, something like this called maybe display name. If you have a method here called display name, and we call on this method. So if I come and I say new std dot display name, if I call on this method like this will give me taye, right? I think that's where we stopped in our last class. So today we're
Yes,
going
sir.
to continue from there. Today we are going to something we call class inheritance. Class inheritance. Class inheritance is a situation where a class gives birth to another class. A class gives birth to another class. And the way it works is that there will be a parent and there will be a child. So the parent class we give its for when you say someone inherits another person. So the child class will inherit things in the parents. It's going to have access to everything in the parents.
Okay.
So the way the inheritance works is it only works up, it doesn't go down. The child inherits from the parent, but the parent does not inherit anything from the child. Do you understand? So the child inherits everything in the parents,
Hmm.
but the parent does not inherit anything, like not a single thing like this. The parent does not inherit anything in the child. Do you understand how it works now? There will
Yes,
be
sir.
a parent and there will be a child. The
Yes.
parent inherits. The child inherits everything in the parent, but the parent does not inherit anything in the child. So let's go. So why do we need class inheritance? You need class inheritance because when you realize that maybe uh, you realize, I think a good example is, look at it from this perspective. Imagine I have a class called house. As much as I know, I think all houses, at least we still have maybe a room or so. So we can say the number of rooms will be equals to rooms. I'll move this so. So we have this. When we call on this, we're going to say new house like this. Or we can pass a number here. So this 4 we passed as the number of rooms, and the value of these dot rooms will be 4. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how does inheritance now comes in? When we have a house, some houses will have gates. Some houses may not have gates. Again, some houses may have gates, some may not. So if we put gates here inside this place, if we say maybe um, display gates, and what this does is it just allows I have gates. So look at this. If I create anything, let's say this, let me call this new house, and this will be new house. Display gates. So when you call on this method called display gate, it's going to display I have gates. The problem is that how then do we create houses without gates? Because this class, this particular class, assumes that all houses have gates. Do you get it?
Yes.
If we create any object, this is an object. If we create any object out of this class, that object will always have this method called I have gates. It will create this. It will have this method called display gates. But we don't want that to happen because we want some of the houses to have gates and some of the houses not to have gates.
Gates.
So that is where class inheritance comes in. So we can remove this out of this, and we have this class called house. The reason we are cool with this is because we know that all the houses we want to create, we always have rooms, so we don't have problem with
Yes.
this. We can now
With
come
that.
here and create a new class. We can say gated houses. This is a new class, gated house. So what's the meaning of this? This is just saying this class gated house is an extension of class house. Do you understand?
Yes.
So house is the parent, gated house is the child. This extends is a keyword. It's a keyword. What it's just saying is that it's trying to tell us that this gated house is an extension of house. House is the parent,
Yes.
gated house is the child. With this now, gated house now automatically have access to everything in house. Remember I said the child inherits everything in the parent. If I have a method here called, maybe let's call it display rooms. If I have a method here called display rooms, and this method, what it does is it just alert I have this. So we have a method here called display rooms. One thing I want you to notice is that this gated house now automatically have that method also, because it's
Okay.
it also has a constructor. Whether it is the fact that we don't write it here does not mean it doesn't, because since it's an extension of house, it has access to everything here. So it has a constructor, and it also has this method called display rooms. So this is the child. Why this is the parent. So whenever you create anything from the parents, here we are creating new house from the parents. It will have these ones. But let's say display gates. Let's create a method called display gate. And what this is going to do, just alert I have gates. So here, when you create new instance of the parent, you don't have access to this. Remember, the parents cannot inherit things in the child. This variable here is a new instance of the parent. But if you create new instance of the
Yes.
child, let's create new. If you create new instance of the child, then you have access to all of this and this also. I can pass a value here, 6. This 6 will be sent to the constructor. Remember, gated house, this class gated house, has access to everything in its parent. Do you get it?
Yes.
So this 6 will be sent
Yes.
to the constructor of the parent. Then this dot sums will be number of rooms. So I can now say new house dot display gate. It will still give me I have gates. And I can say new house dot display rooms, and it will tell me I have 6 rooms.
Wow.
So let's run it on the browser. I have gates. I have 6 sums.
Mm.
Welcome, sir. So let's proceed. Let's assume we created new instance of the parent now. This is a new instance of the parent. We won't have access to this display gates because it is inside the child. Although we'll still be able to call display rooms, but we won't be able to call display gates since the parent does not have display gates. So you see it's not working. If you check your console, you will see an error there trying to tell me display gate is not a function because the display gate is not present in the parent. It's only present in the child. Welcome, sir, Mr. President. So, can we proceed? Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, we want to look at one thing together. We want to introduce, since the parent has a constructor, okay, let's look at what we call method overriding. Method overriding. We want to override method. What's the meaning of that? How we come here and I will create another function called display rooms. Remember, the parent has a method called display rooms already. And we are creating recreating it in the child. I come again. The parent already has a method called display rooms. So, and we are recreating that method in the child. So what we will do is, I'll say, alert, rooms are here. Rooms are here. Let's just display this. Now, when we say, I want to ask a question. When you say new house dot display rooms, what do you think? Which one do you think it will show us? When we run this code, which one do you think it will show us? Will it be this or this? Legitimus.
So, please,
Okay.
so can you come again with your question, sir?
If I run this line 30, what do you think we will see? Will it be rooms are here or I have 6 rooms? Remember, both of them bear the same name. Display rooms. Display rooms.
So I think it would be. Uh, so, so it will be.
Is that?
I have gates.
I'm calling on function display rooms.
Okay.
So this line 30, new outdoor display rooms.
Okay.
What do you think it will
Okay.
display?
So rooms are here.
Look at this very well. Are you sure? Now look at it. New house, this variable, is a new instance of house. This is house. And this house has this one in it. So it will display I have 6 rooms. We are creating a new instance of the parent. Remember, the parent does not have access to anything in the child. The parent
Yes.
does not have access to anything in the child. So it will be I have 6 rooms. Let's run it. I have 6 rooms. Okay, let's proceed. But if we create a new instance of the child, let me just come and say, let's say, if you create a new instance of the child, it will be rooms are here. This is method overriding. That is, when you put a method inside a child and the same method is in the parent, when you create a new instance of the child, here we are creating a new instance of the child here, is we use the one in the definition inside the child, not the one in its parent. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So this is method override. So this will give us rooms are here because I'm creating a new instance of the child. But let's assume this is not there. It would have been, if we had, let's assume we remove this. This would have given us I have 6 rooms. But because we are repeating that method in the child, it will use the method in the child, not the one in the parent now, because the child now have another method with the same name. So that is method overriding. Let's proceed and let's see where this method overriding will give us an issue. Is it? It seems everything looks cool now until we introduce constructor in the chart. So let's do that together. Introduce constructor in the chart, and for now, all I just want to do is just have me to alert. How you doing? Or let's just console login start. So that you got to receive some error there. Now, here we are creating a new instance of the child, and because I just explained method overriding to us, we know that it's going to use the constructor in the child, not the one in the parent. Since the child now has his own constructor, let's assume the child does not have his own constructor, it would have used the one in the parent. But because the child now has its own constructor, then definitely it will use the one in the child. Do you understand?
Yes.
Let's run it. Now what's going on? We have this error. The idea is that whenever the child have his own constructor, you have to respect the parent. I come again. Whenever the child, normally, the child may not have constructor, but once it has its own constructor, it needs to respect its parents. It's like it's paying homage to the presence of the constructor in its parents. So you just want the child. All the parent is asking for is that this child constructor should reference its own constructor. So when the child you want to introduce a constructor inside the child, you need to reference, or you need to pay homage, so to say. You need to pay homage to the presence of its parents. So how do we do that? It's simple. Just come here and say super. By putting the word super here, all you are just saying is, oh, I respect the fact that my parent also has constructor. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is all it's expecting you to do. Just respect the fact that its parent also has constructor.
Constructors.
So if you run this now, the other message will go. Rooms are here.
Wow.
How are you doing? But then we are not done. We still have a problem. The problem we have is that this 6, we want to pass it to the parents. Remember, the purpose of creating a child here is that we want to create some houses that we have gates. That is why we are doing this. Meaning that we will still have houses that will not have gates. If we want to create houses that will not have gates, we use the parents. If we want to create a house that will have gates, then we use the child. Abi?
Yes.
Now, since the parent already has provisions for rooms, provision for rooms, there is no point repeating it in the child. I come again. The parent is the one handling rooms because we want to assume that all the houses we'll be creating will have rooms. And the parent already has provision for rooms. What the parent does not have provision for is gates. And that's why we are introducing gates in the child. But the parent has provision for rooms. So since the parent has that, there's no need repeating rooms in the child again. So what I'm trying to say is this: we want the parent to be the one to set this room. What we want to pass the 6 to the parent somehow. Meaning we still want to use the parent constructor, not the child. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Good. We want to use the parent constructor, not the child. But maybe I also want to use the child constructor to set the number of gates I want the house to have. So we are going to use the parent constructor to set the number of rooms. We use the child constructor to set the number of gates. So let's do that together. So we can come here and say, can say maybe to 6. So what's the meaning of this? Come here, we can say rooms. Oh, sorry. I want it to have. Yep. So let's see what happens. When you call on this, these 2 will be sent to gates, and this 6 will be sent to rooms. Remember, I said it's going to use that of the child and not the one in the parent. So these 2 will be sent to gates. So the value of gates is 2, and this 6 will be sent to rooms. So the value of rooms is 6. Next, how then do we pass rooms to this place? So you come here and pass it to the parent here. Oops. So we can now come to this child now and say this. Don't worry if it's confusing, I'll explain better now. So this is it. These 2 will be sent as the value of gates. 6 will be sent as the value of rooms. But you are passing only rooms to the parents. Remember, this super represents the parents of the parents, Abi. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So I said these 2 will be sent to gates. These 6 will be sent to rooms. The super we have here represents the presence of the parent, right? I told you that the super is referencing the parent. I said that earlier, Abina.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this super represents the presence of the parent, like it references, we're using it to reference the parent. That's why we can now pass rooms to this place. When we pass rooms to this place, these rooms will now be sent to the parent constructor. We want to use the rooms inside the parent. We want to pass it here. But we want to use the gate inside the child. We want to use it here. So, but when you call on this, when you create an instance of gated house, both of them, whatever you pass, will immediately be sent to the child, not the parent. The child now can now send whatever belongs to the parent, it can now send it to the parent. Rooms belong to the parent. So the parent is the one responsible for setting the rooms. So by putting this here, this 6 now, the 6 we are sending here will be sent as the value of rooms. Then super, you are passing that 6 as, you are passing it to this place. So that will be sent up here to as the value of number of rooms. So that these dot sums will now be that 6. Then the child now can make use of this and everything works fine. So if I say display gates now, I have so this will give me I have 2 gates. So let's call on display room. If you call on display rooms, it will be I have 6 rooms, and if you call on display gates, it will be I have 2 gates. I'm very sure if you go over it again, you'll understand it much better.
Yes, boss.
So let's run it now. Line 27. What's going on? Okay. Rooms are here. I have two rooms. Then display gates. Okay, I have to get display rooms. Oh, there's another display rooms here. So I have 6 rooms. I have 2 gates. Any question? So we are done with class inheritance. Class inheritance is a situation whereby a class inherits properties and methods from its
From the
parent. Any question? Now to our assignments. This is what we want to do. We want to create an e-commerce platform. An e-commerce. So in that application, we want to sell, maybe,
Sorry,
we have.
sorry for can
Yes,
you?
sir. Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I want to ask if the class is recorded, sir.
You said?
I want to ask if the class is recorded, sir.
Yes, yes. It's recorded.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
sir.
So now, our assignment. We want to create an e-commerce platform, and there will be an admin end and there will be a user's end. Now, please do something to make your work so easy. All the images you want to use in your application, put all of them inside a folder. All of them, all the images you want to use there, just put all of them inside a folder. It will really make your work less stressful. So now back to the task. There will be an admin end and there will be a user's end. So at the admin end, the admin will be able to register, log in. And if I log in as an admin, of course, where admin will register and log in will be different from where users will register and log in. So as an admin, if I register, I can log in, then I can upload goods. If I'm uploading goods, maybe I want to add phone so that my users will be able to buy phone. I will add the name of the good, the price of the good, the quantity of the good. I will have all of this and the picture of the good. So I will have the name, the price, the quantity, and the picture of that good. Then I will upload it. At the user's end, users can add to carts. User will register. Okay, now when users get to the landing page, user will see the goods. Users can add to carts. But when they're about to check out, it will tell them to log in order to be able to check out. So after logging in, we can now check out successfully. Do you understand? So just give the user a receipt or the goods you bought cost so. Just the way e-commerce platform work generally. There will be an admin end, there will be a user's end. At the admin end, there will be a registration page, there will be a login page. If I log in as an admin, I'll be able to add goods. Then the admin should be able to remove goods also. Yes, you should be able to remove goods. Then at the user's end, I should be able to buy goods, add to cart. Of course, I should see the total quantity. So let's assume there are 10 goods there. I should not be able to buy more than 10 of that particular good since the admin only added 10. So then I can check out. If I'm about to check out, then it should tell me to log in. Now, but I can also choose to log in right from start. If I log in, I can still add to cart and check out immediately. Good. But just make it possible for users to visit that page, add to cart and all of that without logging in. Make it possible so that when the user is now done and is about to check out, you now tell the user log in. So once the user log in, the user should be able to check out successfully and buy the goods. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Hello, please, are we together?
Yes, sir. So we're together.
Do you have any question concerning the task?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
I'm
sir.
still going to. I'm still going to go back to the recording, sir. So
Okay.
if I have any question, I will chat you up, sir.
Okay. Then, by just our next class is going to be classwork. Please, I want us to be prepared. I give us task that you solve. Give us task you solve. So that will test everything we've learned so far. At least it won't just be assignment. I'll be able to see us myself and see how much we are doing these things. I have we are done with today's class. Let me stop recording.